Anyone remember this guy? Brian McCloskey, head coach of the women's hockey team. We haven't seen him at home in a long time. December 8th, the last home game, and they'll be home again real soon, but on the road against UConn. Coach, let's start with just a general assessment of what we'll call the first half of the season.
Well, you know, Mike, we had a really challenging first half, probably the toughest slate of games in terms of national competitiveness, and a lot of young faces. But I was really, I think overall our staff and from the results might not have been exactly what you would have wished, but the overall growth and production and performance that we got out of our young players and our returning veterans, we were pretty thrilled. I mean, you know, granted, the good news was we were able to stay. We played a really tough in-league schedule as well, and we were able to get that to a 500 points so that we're poised for, you know, a good run here in the second half. And granted, we played teams, Minnesota, Wisconsin, some of the very, very top teams. And while we didn't win those games, we got a lot out of those games. And I think that experience will help us in the second half.
And prior to this series against UConn this weekend, you have gotten back on the ice and a win. Can you tell us about that victory against Union? Well,
we were a little rusty. You know, we've been off for almost a month, and Union's a much improved team, very scrappy, hard-working team. We came out of the gate pretty well. I thought we did some things fairly well in the early part of the game. In the middle part of the game, we seemed to get into the rust seemed to show itself a little bit more. Maybe the enthusiasm of being back wore off. The third period, after letting them kind of come from behind and tie us, the team really put the pedal to the floor and started to play strong, putting shift after shift together, and you know, wound up winning 4-2. And it was a good win because it was, you know, lots of enthusiasm, some rust, and then sort of figuring it out and really taking it to Union at the end of the game.
Because of all the young players at this stage of the season, do you see them acclimating and no longer be considered freshmen because they've been at such a high level of competition for so many contests?
There's no question our freshmen have made big contributions this year, and I don't look at them as newbies any longer. They're right in there with the veterans. This is one of the nicer balanced teams. I mean, we probably wish we had a little bit more scoring up front or a little more prolific, but the back end, the goal seems to have settled in. Jen Gilligan seemed to really take charge there, and our forward lines, we've got three really strong lines. So, you know, what we talked about in the first half was being a really hard team to play against. And I think we've become that. And now the question is, can we, you know, put it together for a stretch run here into the playoffs?
Looking at Hockey East right now, it's BU, BC, everybody else jockeying for third place on. Still, is it too early to say that's how things are shaping up?
No, I think that's fair. I don't think those two teams are going to lose a lot of games. They've obviously lost some. We were able to take 2 points from each of them. But I would say that there's a huge rush on for 3 through 7, 7, 8, and those two will probably be the top 2 seeds. But there's still a lot of hockey to be played, and the good thing for us is we're in a position where we could finish, truthfully, anywhere from 1 through 7 or 8. So I feel like this second half is going to be exciting.
Well, best of luck this weekend against UConn. We can't wait to see the team back at home. It's been a while. January 24th, you'll finally be back at the WIT.
Thanks a lot, Mike.